How do you create a sense of dread for your audience? This mixture of fear, uncertainty, and anticipation is a potent emotion that storytellers can use to great effect. But what is the best way to do so? I'm AJ, a filmmaker and storyteller, and today we are going to talk about building an atmosphere of dread by studying a story that does it phenomenally well: the 2019 miniseries, Chernobyl. Chernobyl is a five-part series that relates the story of the catastrophic nuclear disaster that took place in the city of Chernobyl on April 26, 1986. The series is dramatized, not a documentary, and while there were some liberties taken in adapting events to the screen, great care was taken by the creators to portray things as accurately as possible in most cases.
This is our moment to shine.
Beyond the historical accuracy, however, the series does a masterful job of creating an atmosphere of dread for the audience, especially in the first episode. Chernobyl uses many elements to create this atmosphere, so let's break down how these elements come together to cause an audience reaction. A key element to dread is the unknown. What was that? Is there something there? What just happened? Fear is enhanced by these unknowns. The unseen monster is always more terrifying than even the scariest looking seen monster. Chernobyl uses fear of the unknown by keeping the audience in the dark for much of the first episode, only slowly revealing the magnitude of the disaster that has occurred. The characters reference things we know nothing about, and characters we have yet to meet. They stagger through the maze-like interior of the power plant on errands we don't understand. As we watch, more slowly becomes clear, but the clarity does not remove our dread. Instead, it simply transfers the placement of that dread. We as the audience see that something has gone terribly wrong, and we can only watch as the characters rationalize and delude themselves into thinking that it isn't as bad as it clearly is. Instead of dreading the unknowns of what has happened, we dread the unknown of what terrible mistakes the characters may make as they ignore the severity of the problem. Because the fear of the unknown is so powerful, it can really help in giving the audience that sense of dread you are looking for. Don't reveal everything at once. Give the audience bits of information and only gradually reveal the full scope of what is going on. You want to create the kind of tension that comes from not having the full picture. Then, once the audience begins to see what is happening, keep at least some of the characters in the dark. The audience will keep experiencing tension as they experience the dramatic irony that comes from knowing things that the characters do not.
We have to open the valves
You're talking about hours in there.
and help us.
Help you do what? Pump water into a ditch, there's nothing there.
We've discussed how to tell the story in a way that creates a sense of tension and dread anticipation. But what other aspects of filmmaking can be used to add to this atmosphere? Sound comes into play here, because the sound effect and music choices you make can have a massive, yet often unnoticed, effect on the audience's emotional state. The sound design in Chernobyl does this to perfection. When it uses music, it is eerie, haunting, and unsettling. Music in very high or very low ranges is a good choice for creating a sense of fear and unease. The sound effects are also very well chosen. For example, the sounds of crackling radiation from Geiger counters is used for obvious reasons, and when this sound increases in intensity, you can experience a bit of the same panic as the characters, as you feel the ever-present, invisible menace of the radiation. Because the main thing to fear in the story is nuclear radiation, which no one can see, the filmmakers use the sound choices to keep it in the audience's mind. You see the effects the radiation is having on the characters, yes, but even in the scenes where there are no visible effects, you can still feel it lurking through the sound design and music choices. So if you want to maintain an atmosphere of dread, use sound choices that subtly keep the viewers on edge and reinforce the emotional state you are setting up with your story choices. Finally, let's talk about how to spread this atmosphere visually. As I said before, the unknown is always scarier than the known, so don't just show scary things. If you watch my channel, you can probably guess where I'm going with this, because the key is reaction shots. Don't just show the exposed reactor core. Show the character's face as they look at the reactor core and realize just how doomed they are. Don't just show the firefighters getting injured by the radioactive debris around them. Show their expressions as they see what is happening to their comrades and continue to do their duty despite it. Don't just show a helicopter crashing as it gets too close to the power plant and hits a crane. Show the men watching as they see it crash, then order the next helicopter in to try to smother the fire anyway.
Send the next one in.
Dread, fear, and sorrow are human emotions, and the best way to bring these emotions to your audience is through connection to other humans. By showing the characters' reactions to what is going on around them, you will create an empathetic response in the viewers. As the characters experience the dread that comes from realizing how catastrophic their situation is, the audience will experience this with them. Remember, the key to connecting to the audience is characters, and showing those characters' reactions to the story as it goes on around them. So, if you want to build an atmosphere of dread for your story, use gradual reveals, unsettling sound design, and lots of reaction shots. I'm AJ, and I hope you found this discussion of Chernobyl interesting. If you enjoyed this video, go down below and leave a like, and if you want to see similar videos in the future, please subscribe. What film or show do you think has done the best job at building dread in the audience? Let me know down in the comments. Now, go out there and create stories.